Welcome everyone to episode 35 of Circle Back Podcast. Today's a special episode because we have a special guest. Our buddy here, Scott Scooter Link.
Hello, everybody.
Joining us on the couch. As usual, Dan Dufrenoy here with me. I'm Dan LaMarca. This is going to be a special episode because we are going to talk about all of our favorite couch multiplayer experience. Local multiplayer, couch co-op, some couch competitive.
You know what's amazing?
We're
on a couch right now, and we play together on the couch.
That's true. That's kind of why we decided to do this. Three of us get together all the time and just play some couch co-op stuff. So we're just going to jump right into it. It's kind of going to be a format of we're just going to throw out games here, talk about why we love them, what's good about them, if they're kind of obscure games, talk about what kind of game they are, discuss it a little bit. So, Scott, just throw one out. What's one of your favorite couch multiplayer experiences?
Lay it on us.
Halo combat involved.
All right, the original Halo?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's the most fresh one. I mean, when you see that for the first time, it was like unlike any other game that you've played before, and
That's true.
just for that split screen experience, and then you get to pick your own character and stuff in the multiplayer. Like for me, when I was playing with my aunt and uncles, like. And that's like the only time that I could play video games with them.
Yeah,
so
and so
that
they
makes a
like
huge
that game?
difference.
Yeah.
They would randomize the characters by just random animal names, I think. So
Right.
I got assigned the penguin, and I made my character white. So it was like every
Nice.
time they got killed, they'd be
Penguin.
like, again by the penguin, the fucking penguin.
That game is so good, and that pistol is so good. There's nothing better than that pistol. It's like a mini sniper rifle.
Yeah. You can kill somebody from like 50 feet away.
That game was just so much fun to play with friends, and not only that, when you get to Halo 2 and you're doing like, I remember having like System Link.
Yeah.
You know, 4 people downstairs, 1 team downstairs. We got an Ethernet running upstairs. You know, or 2 different room, 2 TVs set up. There's a team in each room, like
That's
yelling at
awesome.
each other.
Yeah.
It's so much fun.
That's when that really came alive for me, because like you have people, I guess in the 90s and the early 2000s that would do
like play Quake and
on the PC and stuff.
Right.
But
Right.
for like console games,
And now you had the technology to do all this stuff now. Yeah.
that's what
yeah, no doubt about it. That was the jumping off point
we
for
don't
most
have
people.
our own TVs
Yeah.
and stuff.
That was the jumping off point for most people.
Yeah,
for,
totally.
For first-person shooters, that's for sure.
Yeah.
In the same vein, sticking with Microsoft, I know we talked about Gears of War. I was a huge Gears fan back in the day, especially multiplayer.
Yeah.
And when they started to do like horde mode and stuff like that, it was really fun to like get friends together.
Yeah, man.
Just
Definitely.
killing huge hordes, trying to stay alive, like set up traps and stuff once I got to 3. But that online experience, even if you're playing, say you're not playing online, playing deathmatch with co-op with your friend with bots, like filling out the rest of the team, like just I remember just playing over and over again, just fucking loving playing bot matches with friends.
I feel like
on the
those
couch.
certain games
So
like
much
the
fun.
best. Like for me, like Halo and Gears like were the best when it was with like friends. You know, that was, like for me that was like the real selling point. It was like it was a lot of fun to just get together, sit on the couch. Who's gonna beat who? I always lost, but it was fine. But you know,
but that is also awesome. Something that fits into this is like Rainbow Six 3. I remember playing Rainbow Six 3 as like because that was all bots except for you and your buddy if you're playing co-op.
Right.
And you're like going in, and I just remember it being so tactical compared to these other games that I know and love, like playing like Halo. Like you're just kind of running in and shooting.
It's a completely different approach.
Oh, so different, but it was so much fun just learning how to play that game.
Yeah.
I remember playing a lot of Rainbow Six.
And it was
3.
also funny finding out like what the bots actually couldn't do, like when they would get into something that just wasn't built for their coding.
Yeah,
and it was like something starts running into the wall,
exploiting them.
like in GoldenEye when the bots like get stuck like running in the same place.
Something that similar to this, another first-person shooter, Left 4 Dead for me was an absolute huge one. Playing the, I guess you call it a story mode rather than the multiplayer. It's still like co-op with your friend, but you're going through the mission and you're kind of just mowing zombies down, and then it's like you hit a point where you have to stop and wait or like hold a button or something, and then the big guys come out. I just remember playing so much Left 4 Dead with friends. That game is so special.
I actually never played a Left 4 Dead game.
Oh, it's excellent.
We gotta play it sometime.
Yeah, all right.
But what's really cool about Left 4 Dead is that when you're playing in the main campaign, you really have to base your approach around everybody's, teamwork.
Yes.
You leave
it's
one
100%
guy behind, and you get stuck, and you shoot a car, and then the alarm goes off, and it tracks all the zombies, and then one guy's behind, and you're like,
gotta leave me, man.
How many players?
I gotta go.
4? You up to 4?
I think 4.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you can do 4. But yeah, that game. So not only playing that I don't know what to call it. I guess it's story mode, like your mission mode.
Yeah.
So that mode was awesome because you're all working together, and then they had the multiplayer where it was like some players become like the special zombies, and the others just play.
Cool.
The others are playing like the mission mode, like they're trying to get from point A to point B. And then it just so happens that some of the monsters are human controlled.
It sounds like cool. I never played, but a buddy of mine played, and he said it was kind of bad. It was like too overhyped, and it just didn't. It was called Evolve or something like that, where like you play as like 5 people, and you could play as like this like raptor or something.
There were different monsters they put in.
And you play one.
Evolve is a really cool game, but that kind of doesn't fit into here because that is a online only multiplayer. So it's disqualified.
Well, I suck.
No, but I remember a lot of really fun times with Left 4 Dead, for sure. One that I didn't put on here that I just thought of. You guys ever played Timesplitters?
Yes.
Oh, wait a second. Yeah.
Yes.
Timesplitters
remind me
2.
Of like a separate version of like GoldenEye.
That's exactly what it was like. It was like a newer version of GoldenEye, but it again could let you do a lot of bot matches, and it would have like 16-player matches, and you could do like. The cool thing about Timesplitters was all the characters were so unique in a similar way to GoldenEye.
Yeah.
Like you had a monkey that was like 2 feet tall.
Yeah.
And then you had like this big, huge guy that you could be and stuff. And I just remember playing so much like local multiplayer with, it'd be like me and 3 friends or my cousins playing against like a team of bots. And that game is just so much fun. So much fun co-op.
Well, since I feel like we keep harking back to GoldenEye. I think we should.
Yeah, let's talk about GoldenEye. So GoldenEye,
the watershed
GoldenEye and Perfect Dark
for shooters.
Say.
Yeah,
those 2 games were both huge on N64.
N64,
yeah.
Very similar style of games, obviously.
I would even say that Perfect Dark was the spiritual successor because it's both made by Rare.
Yes.
Yeah.
No doubt about it. They were definitely using a lot of the same ideas and tech. It totally gave us that, and so when we talk about a game like Halo, right, where it's kind of bring everything out, that's why they call it Combat Evolved, but this was the proto of that for consoles because it had you do the split screen where the screen cheating was invented and you're looking at everyone's screen and pretending you're not. I remember one time specifically we put up we got a cardboard box and we like cut the whole side and taped it to the TV so that my cousin couldn't look at our screen.
That's when friends became enemies.
Exactly.
Yeah, for real.
No, but that game, I mean, between all the insane weapons and the different ways you can play that game.
I mean, you could play the bare bones way, split screen,
or you can play Golden Gun.
You could play Golden Gun. You could play paintball mode. You could play big head mode
and he always had that one guy that picked Odd Job all the time.
Yeah. It's too bad he couldn't throw his hat.
Yeah, no, that game, I mean, that'll always be one of the most special.
Well, that's the thing, I think. That's just like one of the.
It's one of the all-time couch competitive games.
But I think that's only for like our generation. I seriously think if we go back,
you can't go back. If you tried to play that today, you'd be like,
this game terrible.
Sucks. Yeah. No, I think it's just
really
because the way the camera control was awful.
Yeah,
it's like.
I mean, if you were a really precise shooter in your games, it makes no difference because a guy could have such a large margin of error and still make the shot. Whereas
controlling where you're aiming when you only have one thumbstick does not make any sense. No. It's impossible.
Yeah, I mean, with the 64 controller,
it's like this
built for a person with 3 hands.
Exactly.
Right, yeah. No, I think GoldenEye, we'll always, when we talk about like the history of video games and like, watershed moments, GoldenEye definitely will forever be talked about.
Right.
But it does not hold up.
Hold up. And guess what? Neither does Perfect Dark. And they're both awesome for what they were doing at the time.
Yeah.
I love both those games. They're great multiplayer games.
When they going to remaster GoldenEye? I thought they were talking about that.
I think they had like a PC modded version where they updated the textures and everything.
Because I remember the other James Bond games too that would come up afterwards.
Yeah, they kept coming out,
and like they just got better and better. You know, I mean,
they were good. I remember playing a lot of Nightfire on GameCube.
Is that the one for GameCube?
I remember playing Nightfire. World is Not Enough.
Yeah. Nightfire was definitely the big one for multiplayer. It really felt like the next version of GoldenEye, where
those games were a lot of fun. I had a lot of really good memories. You know,
I think you would be crazy to think that if a game that was paired with a film now was going to be as innovative as GoldenEye was.
Yeah, amen to that.
Anything before that was nothing like GoldenEye.
No, not at all.
I think maybe Quake was like the closest thing to
I mean,
it.
they had
was it 3D at the time?
Yeah, they were the innovators, no doubt. You know, between Doom and Quake and stuff like that. Like those guys did it first, obviously, but to take something like that and put it on a console is really what set them above.
And the game came out 2 years following the movie.
Right, yeah. Which is insane.
Crazy.
Yeah.
If that happened now, they'd be like, Why
did you put it out? Yeah.
Why is the game for this movie just coming out?
Let's talk about fighting games. Because fighting games are a big part of my growing up, for sure, of playing games on the couch. We have here Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, Tekken, Soul Calibur. Those are the big ones. Street Fighter for me, I loved playing Street Fighter 2. I had it on Super Nintendo, and it was just like
Street Fighter 2, the 7 different versions of that game.
Exactly, yeah. And on those controllers, it was not a good game. There's no denying that. No, it's not a good game. But playing it in an arcade compared to that is nothing. You know, not even comparable. But Mortal Kombat for me was the one. I just remember playing so much of that at my cousin's house and just being like, "Oh, I really shouldn't be playing.
Look at all this blood."
You know, like you think you're so cool because it's like this nasty game.
Let's go play some Mortal Kombat. Okay.
But so those two were when I was younger. Tekken was when I really started to like actually look up moves and like learn how to play. You know, like I think it was Tekken 2.
Screen
Tekken 2 for me was the big one where I remember playing a lot of it and like seeing all the characters' endings and stuff like that. But I just remember going head to head with a good family friend of mine, Jamie. We would always play Tekken, always, and it's just so much fun, like not knowing what you're doing together and then getting better at the same time and being like
definitely.
Yeah, at first it was like who could just smash the buttons.
That's what it is. Yeah, even on the arcade too, it's just like
yeah.
And there was like a slight bit of absurdity with Tekken 2 because you could play as a panda.
Oh, it was ridiculous.
There's the cat guy, right? The guy with the cat head or whoever.
That's King, man.
Yeah,
he's the man. No, that game was totally ridiculous in such a fun way because it took itself so seriously. Yeah. But it was also just absurd.
Well, I think each of those games, Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, I mean, they all had like their like thing. Like Mortal Kombat, like prided itself on its like look at all this like nasty like ripping each other in half, and then Street Fighter I thought had really interesting characters.
Yes.
Yeah, and like with all these like really like crazy backstories, like I thought that was really cool.
No, I mean you look back on Soul Calibur.
Soul Calibur as well. I'm sorry, yeah, Soul Calibur.
That first.
Dead or Alive too. Can't forget about
That's
that.
Right. Dead or Alive. Soul Calibur for me was probably my favorite back then.
Soul Calibur 2 with Link and Keelik and all those guys.
Yeah. I just remember playing quite a bit of Soul Calibur, and it was so different compared to the rest of them because you can like turn, you can like rotate around the,
you have
arena
now too.
Right.
That's true.
Yeah, it was cool. I really, really like Soul Calibur. I would say, I mean, you go back, Street Fighter 2 is obviously
Street Fighter is my favorite,
head and shoulders above the rest, but that doesn't mean you didn't have fun with the rest of them.
I love the rest of them, but for me, Street Fighter was just because I just love the character. Vega was my guy. I thought Vega was just so cool. He had like the mask and like the claws, and
he's good, man.
Those were my days. But I suck at like I was really bad at Gears and Halo, really bad at fighting games too. So I was always the one that
I was never good at fighting games either, but I always lost. It was just fun to learn it.
Yeah, my girlfriend who's never played video games, we went to an expo and we played Tekken. Now she's never played video games before in her entire life, and we went and we played Tekken and she kicked my ass.
Diana just recently, I think, when we were in San Diego a month and a half ago, beat me in Street Fighter 2 at a arcade.
She's played video games. But she's played video games.
She has, but
my girlfriend
certainly
played
does not know what
games.
she's doing fighting games. I mean, she was just doing this the whole time and beat me. I was like, oh, you motherfucker.
She might have some combos lined up.
Yeah, she was hustling. Yeah, I'm actually the best.
Let's talk about some of the racing games, because a lot of things that came to mind for us were like Diddy Kong Racing, Mario Kart 64, Crash Team Racing. Those games are so perfect for this kind of thing and what we're talking about, where you can just play them over and over and over again. And Mario Kart in particular, I remember playing battle mode a lot with my cousins.
Yeah.
And it was just so like, the battle mode is good. It's fun, but it's so bad if you look back on it. Like, the way you have to like run around and like chase each other, and it's like, all right, am I ever gonna get to this person?
Yeah,
like, it's just such luck. But I think all those racing games were so much fun as a kid. I think Diddy Kong Racing I liked because it had that like single player mode kind of thing.
Didn't Crash as well? Crash had this.
Yeah, Crash did. Yeah, Crash. I remember you actually like had bosses and stuff. But yeah, I think if you were to go back now, I think Crash might be the best of the bunch. But
well, it depends. I mean,
I definitely played the most of Mario Kart.
Yeah,
but they just get better as they go on.
You
gotta know that. It's like Mario Kart 8 right now is
the best.
There's never been a better Mario Kart.
No, the original Mario Kart for
I
Super
love
Nintendo,
the Super Nintendo Mario Kart.
That had Donkey Kong Jr.
That's a good game.
And that's cool.
I like that game.
That was the most fun I had of the series, but yeah.
Which one? The original one?
Yeah. I mean, it was the first one.
It was the first. It was hard though to control though. I feel like that. And, like,
it was a good game.
If
you're talking about a Super Nintendo.
Super Nintendo,
right?
yeah.
If one of the new ones came out now, then you would say that one was the best.
Of course, yeah. Rainbow Road just always a pain.
Always
a pain.
On 64, it was so long.
It was
so long. I remember trying to be able to jump off a certain part and land on the lower part, because you can do that on Rainbow Road. You can get to like a lower track.
So hard.
Remember
crazy.
Mario Kart 64, that Wario Stadium level?
Oh yeah.
You can right off the bat. Right off the bat, you can like jump over the wall if you do it right, and you like skip like half the track. I remember like beating all my friends. They're like, "How you do that?" But it's like a glitch. It's not like they meant to.
I am the warrior.
Because there are certain shortcuts in Mario Kart 64 that are intentional. Like on the beach level, there's like a ramp that goes through the.
There's certain
mountain,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
They have that new one too in Wario's Gold Mine.
Yeah.
You can,
So there's definitely that, but this Wario Stadium one was like
just too good for that.
Well, yeah,
too cool for school.
Listen, the Red Nintendo Power. No, but those games are just so much fun to play, and something Scott shouted out before that I had totally erased from my brain is Star Wars Pod Racing.
Yes.
Episode 1 Pod Racing.
Oh my god.
And I remember this game so well because you can totally customize like your pod racer.
Yep.
And like you would talk to Sebulba and be like, give me this engine, I can buy this like new engine and stuff. Like you upgraded your pod. It was so stupid, but it was so good.
It was ridiculous that the idea of that type of game being so central in the community. And
it was so weird.
I don't know. It was just so much fun. It was just ridiculous.
Yeah, I played a lot of that as a kid.
So, and the
physics of the pod races.
The physics of the game was so like
wobbly.
Yeah. Because like you would drive Anakin's pod racer, and he's got the two turbines.
Right, and you got to keep those like balanced
by the beam. I guess.
Yeah, I don't even know what you're.
And it's just flowing around, and then you could hit it into a cave or whatever. Like, just barely miss it. Because there was some turns that was just like, I'm not making that. And you just barely make it. And other times, you hit it and your whole turbine goes out. And you're going with one turbine and you have no steering left.
No, I definitely remember some fun times with that stupid game. Thinking back on that specific era around, like, N64, we have the Mario Party games.
Okay, let's talk about the Mario Party games.
Mario Parties. Dana, you know how I feel about Mario Party.
I know.
As a child, much like many of these
games, you got some on your head.
I was like, wow, you're very slimy.
Ew.
Oh, gross.
A lot like most of these games that we're talking about, the older games, it's like they're not good. But when I was a kid, absolutely love the Mario Party
The
games.
story modes in Mario Party 3 and 4, I'm telling you, amazing. I was crying at the end of the third Mario Party story where Tumble, your little guy, whoa, right? That little guy? That little guy?
I never played it for the story, though.
Oh, no. It was amazing because, like, you find out, like, you're actually just on a board game and he was just a pair of dice. Like, it was all fake. And I'm like 5 years old. I'm just like, it wasn't real, and like it was just like real tearjerker. You know?
That's hilarious. The Mario Party games, so much fun to play as kids with other people. Like just the nonsense that could happen, the stealing stars, the chance where like you lose all your coins and stuff. Like it was just built for that ridiculous like kids having fun. Anyone could win at any time kind of game.
Yeah.
Because the mini games were fun, and obviously if you were good at them, you're gonna win them most of the time, but you can still lose even if you win all the mini games. You know what I mean?
Like I feel like it's lost that. Like I think probably like after 5, like because yes, I got Mario Party 9, Mario Party 10, where now it was like this weird like you're in a car.
Yeah. When did that
everyone?
Happen? Which
9,
one
I think.
It was 9. And you're in the car, and like you collect like 3 stars at a time. It's weird.
It doesn't give you any individuality.
I think
I loved with the old where you could just like.
I'm interested to see what Super Mario Party looks like, the new one.
Yeah, are you gonna get it?
Well, they said they got rid of the car.
But I'm interested.
They got rid of the car.
They did.
Yeah,
that's good because I love like Mario Party 4. Like it was cool because each level, right? Like I remember one like it was like Koopa's Beach, and if you went over to like Koopa's Shack, you could give him like, I'll give you 5 coins. And then the next time it would just keep building. But if you land on a red space or something, like a tsunami would hit, and like all that work would like be gone. Like
I just like that you could take high risk and high reward, and part of the random factor of the game just made it that much interesting. Mm-hmm. I mean, you could have a guy that wins every mini game possible, and he still has a chance to lose. Right. A lot of guys don't like that, but I thought that's what made it that much more fun.
I mean,
at the end, like you don't care if you lost. In my opinion, I didn't care if I lost.
I always lost, so I was used to it. So it's like whatever.
It sounds like you're losing a lot.
Yeah, it's okay.
You'd have the one guy who has like 1,400 coins too, and still hasn't bought 1 star.
That was me though. I would just
loses all the coins because he lands on the Bowser.
That would be me. I would hoard all my coins because I'd be like, all right, I'm just gonna because you could get like
the coin star.
At the end you get like different stars. I was like, okay, if you get like most blue spaces, most red spaces, most coins, whatever. Right. So I'd hoard up all the coins, and then Bowser would show up or something like that, and he'd be like, give me all your money.
Talking about around the same time. We have Pokemon Stadium.
Oh, of course.
So Pokemon Stadium, interestingly enough, Pokemon Stadium is it's almost like Mario Party in a way because you had these mini games that were so strange.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Like I remember the one with Lickitung where you had to like eat certain
eat
foods.
The sushi, right?
Yeah. But they had these games and like there was like a math one where like raise numbers and you had to like
you had the Rat-a-tat one too with the treadmills.
Yeah.
Like where the Kakuna where you got like
hard in your shell and like the boulders
would fall. Yeah.
But another game where it's like just a ridiculous, silly game, but I played it so much as a kid and loved it and played it with my sister and stuff. But it's not.
I never got the one where you're Kadabra and you got the ball like coming at you. And
yes.
But I like the Lickitung one though. Wait, do the sound again?
Yeah. Whoa! I don't know. That's as good.
And then he would eat like that. He would eat the hot food, and he'd like run like, ah!
He'd be like,
No, it definitely had a lot of fun with Pokemon Stadium.
I like that though because it was cool to like play your friends and like you pick your 6 Pokemon and like you'd see the Pokemon and like you'd see them.
That was the coolest part is. In the games, you could never see their full like
animation
3D models. So I remember Blastoise was the big one.
Yeah.
You see the Blastoise like, and the camera's rotating around. Yeah. Like, oh, look at this.
I love Snorlax though because he would just go like this. You go.
Yeah. And then I like when the Pokemon you hit fly and then he'd go like Charizard would be like.
You launch up in the air.
Disappear for a turn. Like where did he go?
Oh,
and then he comes down.
This is so good.
Yeah, that was at a perfect time because it was a good transition from Game Boy to 64, and it was like you didn't expect at that time to have such a huge jump in graphics,
right?
And like you don't realize how awesome it is to see like a more like a higher fidelity, graphically registered version of these characters.
And in that time when there wasn't a lot of 3D stuff going on, it was just so cool to see. Even though they were polygonal and weird looking, it's like it's just so cool to see them in that form.
I think that's why N64 will also be a watershed moment because, like, seriously, I mean, just like having 3D open, like that's like something like that's probably. I mean, I don't think anything like that's going to happen again. That's just like a very.
You had to go from 2D to 3D, pretty intense.
Next, it's going to be like 70. You know, like where it's like
70
live people, like I don't know.
70.
All
right, so I want to jump into a little bit. We'll stick with the Nintendo theme, do some more Mario stuff. Mario sports games.
Let's do it.
So we all played a lot of Mario sports games. Mario Tennis and Mario Golf for the N64 is kind of where it jumped off. They're both just such good games.
They are.
They're both really
They really are.
games. I remember we got together and played Mario Tennis on GameCube one time. And they just hold up so well.
Yeah.
They really are great games still.
And that's why I'm so disappointed with the new one, is just because like there's something about like where you actually get into like the sport and like the nuances and like techniques and like
learning what everything means and the different types of shots.
Exactly.
They really don't make it too complicated to play. Like, you take a chance when you make a shooter, and it's like there's so much ability to mess up, and like when you play a Mario game, it just has this level of like comfort where it's like you can mess up, but it's still close to doing it right.
Yeah.
They're 100% right. And I think as they went on, they got a little better. I talked about Mario Tennis on GameCube. I think Mario Golf on GameCube is really, really good.
The Mario Baseball games. Mario Baseball games are amazing.
Yeah,
I love those
Super
games.
Sluggers.
Super Sluggers, and there was this original Mario Baseball for GameCube, and Super Sluggers was the Wii.
Those
really
games
fun
were
games. Awesome.
Really
Just the amount of characters. What I like is how every character had like unique abilities. You know, some were good at running, some were good at bunting, some were good with power. You know, it was just like really cool and like
build out your team.
And the stadiums were awesome too, because like some stadiums, like I remember one, I think the Super Sluggers were like you're in like a Yoshi park, and like you could hit like you can do like a nice line drive to the outfield that would have been a safe hit anywhere else, but like you'd have like a pipe, and like a piranha would pop up and eat your ball, and you're out. Like it was like cool stuff like that. Like I love that.
No,
like,
those games really are.
They're really
good. I'll also say the soccer game Strikers.
Super Strikers, yeah.
Really good game too.
Yeah.
It's in a similar vein where it's like these are really fun games to play with friends on the couch or sister, cousin, whatever, brother. It's just like to play on the couch
because everybody can play them.
Everybody can play.
Right,
that's the thing. And that's where we like switch into like Wii Sports, where it was like the ultimate anyone can play multiplayer game.
Yeah.
It's like you had your grandma playing tennis. You know what I mean? It's like just having that kind of experience. Like there will never be a multiplayer game of that massive hit where you can literally everybody wants to play. Like I'm not kidding. Like you had older people buying Wiis just to play Wii Sports,
breaking their TVs,
throwing their remotes through.
I mean, it's like at what other time of your life are you gonna see your grandma in front of the TV pretending to box? You know?
But
get the camera out.
Aside from that, it's just so much. Those games were so much fun. Even if when they weren't perfect, it was just so much fun to get everyone together and just like, all right, let's do some big bowling, and that's everyone's doing. You know what I mean? Like it's just so.
I think bowling was my favorite. That was
bowling was fantastic. I think tennis was great. I remember baseball was pretty good. But yeah, Wii Sports and then Wii Sports Resort also really, really good with the Motion Plus. It got the fidelity a little better.
What was your favorite Wii Sports
game? I think
like mini game.
I think tennis is the best.
I go bowling. How about you?
Probably boxing.
Oh wow, you got a whole different.
It got a little old after a couple matches. Yeah, and I would pick it up again, and I'll be like, it's still awesome.
Yeah, because I feel like if you just like got one hit in, and
I just thought it was so funny to.
Bob,
like the guy mixed it. He's like, and then he starts like making one of these faces.
Did you guys make? Did you guys like download Mii's from the internet?
I didn't.
What do you mean?
I made
like people made like really good versions of like I had a really good Michael Jackson and like a really good like I had all these like weird people like I had Jack Skellington like random people in my world. So like we would play baseball and it would populate your team with like your Mii's.
So you have like Michael Jackson.
And so like Michael Jackson stepped up to the plate, and but it was so funny to see like how good these people got at making these.
That's awesome, yeah.
Because they're so ridiculous looking, these stupid ass memes. But just seeing the different versions, I was like, oh my god, it's so good. I had a really good Mike Tyson too.
Yeah.
But,
that's awesome.
Yeah, no, Wii Sports will forever be like the the couch multiplayer game.
The one.
Let's talk about one of our collective favorite games.
Of course.
And the one that we always like to get together and play, Super Smash.
Yes.
So Super Smash Bros. I'll start by talking about N64.
Mm-hmm.
It was a great game, and for some reason, I have a suspicion why, but everybody, that's like their game. This is like their Super Smash is 64. Mm-hmm. Like when I talk to other people, it's like play me in Smash, and I'm like, which one? They're like, the only one, 64. The only one that matters.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
because that's before it was competitive.
But it's not. It's still a good game, but it's so far below in like the actual gameplay compared to even when you get to Melee. They're up. It's fantastic. Like it's all in the same wheelhouse where you can say, all right, I like Melee better than Brawl. I like Wii U better than Melee. Like you can say that and be like, all right, because all three of those newer games are all within the same like ballpark, and 64 is way behind.
The jump from 64 to Melee.
That's what I'm saying. It's ridiculous.
Substantial.
But
I mean, you would do button mashing in the first one, and that's why my sister, that's her favorite one.
Right.
Because you go to play Melee or Brawl.
And you get one.
Right, you got special moves.
And it's you can't just button mash anymore and potentially beat the other person if they're actually that much
if you
better
go
than
back to 64, they still have abilities and they still do, like, you do need to know what you're doing at a certain level, but it's just so much slower and so much like more deliberate. It's not like as skill based, even though you need to do the moves. Like still as Ness, you need to do B up and hit yourself in the butt with your lightning bolt if you want to get back on. Still hard, whatever, but it's like there's not the sense of speed that you get in the other games.
True.
That makes and that's why Smash 64 is a good game to have for everyone to play, because it's a very good entry level game. When you try to get on the disparity between a good player and a bad player in the faster games is huge.
Oh well, Wii U now when you can play.
Like if you try to one-on-one somebody that knows what they're doing and someone that has never played, it's like no fun. You know what I mean? Like it's no fun for that person. Mm-hmm. And where you go to 64, it's like everyone can kind of mess around and have fun.
Right. I don't know. I feel like I think every game just in this Smash series just gets better and better. Melee was one that I played the N64 version, loved it, but like Melee was the one where just that cast of characters, like all the stages, like that was the most intriguing to me. Yeah. I just think they just get better and better as like time goes on. You know, like the Wii U version is like probably the most technically brilliant.
think Brawl was the only one that really kind of maybe took a step backward. Yeah. But with the first one, if I had to say, like, it felt like chaos really just determined who was gonna win. And now there's still chaos, but the top guy is still
you gotta be the best
out on top, right? You know?
Yeah, absolutely.
The one thing I'm looking forward to about the new Smash coming up is just it's gonna be cool to have all the characters,
every single character.
Like that's I'm happy about that.
You gonna get a Switch for that?
Absolutely. The Wii U was pretty much just like
a Smash machine,
$300 Smash machine, you know? And then I bought other stuff.
Yeah. All right, so I want to talk a little bit about these two games that are near and dear to my heart: NFL Blitz and NHL Hits.
Okay.
So, and I could talk about Slugfest as well, but these are the two big ones for sure. Mm-hmm. So, lots of really great experiences just playing with friends. NFL, those arcadey sports games are so fucking good because they're such a good entry for just anybody to play. Like, you're not going to be good at it if you play for the first time, but you're going to have fun because you're going to make ridiculous plays. NBA Jam is the same way, where it's like these games are great for what they are at just being like, hey, grab a controller, play. You'll pick it up quick. It's not like Madden where you get somebody that doesn't know football to play Madden. Yeah, they're going to have a terrible time. It's not going to be fun. Blitz, it's like just run around. You can tackle people even after the play. Like, just have fun. You know what I mean? Like, just go nuts.
it knows its realm. You know?
Exactly. It knows exactly what it's doing.
And you might create an interest in football for somebody.
NHL Hits, very similar way. Me and my friends played a ton of this game. You can like create your own team. We did a lot of like create us, like me and my friends on a team, and we would like go in and play. It was just a lot of fun. Those games are excellent. And then I would say NBA Jam and MLB Slugfest.
Okay, yeah.
Also, made by the same guys. Not quite as good, I would say, but NBA Jam is a great game, but I would say Slugfest is kind of the odd man out there. But the other NBA games that I absolutely love are NBA Street.
Oh, I love Street. Yeah, Street was
such great games. A lot of time spent with friends.
One of my top 5 favorite games.
Excellent games.
Yeah?
Yeah.
But they 1, 2, and Volume 1, 2,
too.
and 3 are all awesome games because you're right. The music was great. Like the style they had was great. I loved all the way the players looked. Like they really knew what they were doing. They did their own thing. I even liked NFL Street, which was really, really
NFL
cool
Street
game.
was fun too.
These are just like they're in the same vein of Jam, Blitz, and they just kind of like brought them forward and made them a little different, So
you don't think about basketball, you don't think about football. It's just It takes like that core aspect that Super Mario might, Wii Sports might do. It's just you have fun getting towards the goal, and
exactly,
for sure.
And that's why when we talk about Pyre, it's like. That game is like a fantasy, like crazy RPG,
but it's just basketball.
But it's just sport. You know, it's like you don't need to. You learn the sport as you play. You don't need any prior knowledge. That's kind of what these games feel like, where it's like you don't know shit about basketball. Who cares?
Yeah, you
like,
figure it out.
Just play the game. It'll teach you, and you're gonna hit A to pass, and you're gonna hit B to slam dunk.
That guy just jumped off that dude's back, so it's not really basketball right now.
Before we have a bunch of newer games here. I want to touch on some of the older ones first. Tetris Attack is one of my favorite puzzle games ever. It's basically you're swapping. You have this like 2-block swapper,
right, and it goes the opposite way too. Yeah.
You have this 2-block swapper that you can. Like basically switch positions of
so you have different colors and different shapes. So it'd be like pink star, blue circle, and
exactly. So you're trying to just you're doing Tetris, but you're more like erasing the board with what you have rather than falling shapes onto what you're doing. It's just such a good competitive game to go head to head against somebody with. It's so much fun.
And it's all Yoshi specific characters.
Yeah,
so it's like Yoshi, Lakitu, Shy Guy, Wiggler, and the music in that game. Poochie. The music in that game is some of the best music I've heard in a game ever. For the Super Nintendo.
It's such a great game.
I want to go play some
I'll also shout out Puzzle Fighter, Super Puzzle Fighter. It was Street Fighter characters.
Oh, I never played that.
And you literally see the characters on the side, and you're playing Tetris. But as you're doing big combos, the characters will do like Ryu will be like Hadouken, and they'll like throw over like a big line on them, and it's like they're battling each other on top, but you're playing Tetris.
Oh, I remember that.
It's really, really.
What do you think about Yoshi's Cookie?
Yoshi's Cookie, not a great game.
No, it's not a great game. I own that game too. Yeah, no,
not the best.
Not the best.
Dan was playing it before it came over.
Yeah, that's what I was doing. Yeah, actually, I got no sleep. Yeah, an all-nighter playing Yoshi's Cookie.
Talk about. I think the rest of these on here are newer games, except for one that is very special to me that maybe you guys have never heard of. It's a game called Warlords.
Never.
So, it's an Atari game. Had it on the 2600.
Ooh.
It is one of the best competitive games I've ever played. Still to this day, holds up beautifully. It's amazing. You have 4 different players, and everyone has the corner of the screen. So there's 4 corners of the screen. Everyone has like a box like this, and they have blocks that block their little safe area. So there's like a small box on the inside, and then a box full of blocks that this ball bounces around. And you have this paddle that goes around your blocks it's like a right angle. That's all you can move. You can only move from one side of your box to the other. And you're the ball's coming in on your spot. If you hit it with your paddle, then you protect your area. If you miss it, it'll hit your block, and it'll do a piece of damage to the block. When a block takes 3 hits, it's gone. So you have like a wall of defense, and the ball is bouncing around and hitting your defense. If it reaches the center of your spot, like if you break through where your wall is and it goes through, then you're eliminated. So it's a super cool, very fast paced, like balls moving around, you're like sliding around with the paddle, like, you know, trying to keep the ball from hitting your stuff. But a nice little wrinkle that it has is when the ball comes in, you can hold it and it like spins. But if you hold it in one area for too long, the spinning of the ball will hurt your walls.
Oh, okay.
But you can release the ball spinning and it'll like launch out really
Quick,
fast.
yeah.
So you want to grab it, like run it over to where somebody's not, throw the ball up, and then defend. It's such a perfect competitive game. It really, really, honestly, to this day, is like one of the best, most
That's
fun
awesome.
competitive
And
games
we
you
probably
can play.
came out probably early 80s, right?
Yeah, probably mid to late 80s, I would say.
Wow.
But it's an incredible game. I also just want to shout out a couple other games from that area. Snafu, have you ever heard of Snafu?
Oh, Snafu, yeah.
Awesome.
Never played it,
game. Awesome. Like, you know, you're all snakes that get longer as you're going on. So it's like a game of Snake, but if somebody hits your tail, you're done. So you need to. What you're doing is you're moving the entire time and creating a line.
You have to be behind people.
So, well, think of it like this: you're filling the screen with your body because you're constantly getting longer. Like your tail never goes anywhere.
Yeah.
So if you hit, I'm sorry, I'm wrong. You don't hit the back of people. If your head hits into a wall, then you're done.
There's other people that you
So
have to
everybody's snaking around,
You have to watch out for your own tail.
and you can get trapped. And then you're like, I have nowhere to go. You're like snaking to the finish, and then you, and it goes, and then you go again, and then the rest of the people start going again.
Yeah.
Awesome music in that game too. It's like, it's so cool. But Snafu and Warlords are like,
bellissimo. That's funny.
I'll also quickly say Pac-Man Versus, if you guys have ever played any Pac-Man Versus game, like in an arcade or the version that came at home.
Did they have that for the
fucking
N64
cool.
version of Miss Pac-Man? Did they have?
They probably had something like that, but this is literally you have 4 different Pac-Man, different colors. You're in the same spot. The whole object is to you basically become the way you can eat ghosts, like you make everything blue, and then you can eat the other Pac-Man too.
Oh wow!
So they're like running away from you while you're chasing. Like it's a really, really fun game to play 4 people all looking at one screen. Joust is another one that I want to shout out. Really, really awesome competitive game. Joust is fucking awesome. But that's enough about the oldies. We have some newer games here. Huge one, obviously, that we want to talk about is Rock Band and Guitar Hero.
Hell yeah.
Rock Band, obviously, there are a few better, like, local multiplayer
Yeah, hey, let's go
experiences.
play some Rock Band.
Yeah, like,
Everybody's
it's
down
just
for that.
so fucking good. It'll always be good. We still, to this day, me and my friends get together and play Rock Band. Like, it is just such a good game. I just love... So, the thing that's cool about Rock Band is no matter if you're coordinated or not, there's something that you can do. Like, if you don't like singing, try the guitar, play the bass, like get on drums. Like somebody is going to be okay with doing something.
Right, yeah.
So you can really get everybody into it.
Unless you're like Scooter over here and you do the guitar and sing at the same time.
I have
you're a pro, huh?
the singing and the
I've
guitar at the same time
I know.
before.
I've definitely done
But
it
you
too.
have to know the song by heart.
I used to do that with the drums and the singing too.
I tried doing all
Phil
3
Collins
one
over
time.
here.
Right.
I failed in a couple seconds.
But yeah, Rock Band, I mean, everyone out there knows what Rock Band is. We don't need to get too far into it. I just wanted to shout it out, obviously one of the best there is. Guitar Hero.
Can't beat it.
I remember playing Guitar Hero 2 co-op a lot. You and your friend going up against each other.
Yeah. All those games. Guitar Hero World Tour.
Yeah, they're excellent. I mean, there's
Guitar Hero 3 Legends of Rock.
That's right. Guitar Hero 3 is a real good one. So those games, not too much to say about them because obviously they're just fantastic. Game that I love that just came out last year, Cuphead.
All right, let's talk about Cuphead. Scoot's been playing Cuphead.
So awesome that you can play this entire game in co-op. And it's super good like that. Like, it really is fucking great like that, because Cuphead is a tough as nails boss rush game where you're kind of just, hey, it's you against the boss, bring in whatever weapons you need, like whatever, and you playing with somebody else and trying to coordinate, like, who's doing what, where do you want to go, and stuff like that. It's just so much fun. It really reminds me of Contra, which is another game we have on this list, where it's like, you're trying to stay out of each other's way, but there's so much going on screen, and you're trying to, like, it's just...
Dude, you gotta get that spread. That's what it's all about.
Spread is the bomb.
You gotta get the spread. What was it? There was the code for Contra. What was it? The up, up, down, down.
The Konami code?
The Konami code.
Yeah. Left, right, A, B, or...
Is that for every Konami game, or just for Contra?
Konami. Every Konami game.
Every Konami game, you get unlimited lives, right?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, Super C was my jam.
Super C. It's a hell of a one.
Super C!
I like the Alien Wars a lot.
Anyway,
Yeah. But yeah, Cuphead. It obviously has a lot of inspirations, but I think
that run and gun sort of.
I think Contra is the most apt, because it really, when you fight a boss in Contra, it really feels very similar to Cuphead.
Yeah.
I think the art style in Cuphead is so awesome.
Oh, there's never been anything like it. It's incredible.
Yeah, no, true.
It's the side scroller.
Yeah.
Brought into the modern era. And it's so wonderfully and freshly done.
It really is. It's a fantastic
It definitely takes something that's very nostalgic. What was the guy's name? Max Fleischer? Fleischman, who did the Popeye and Betty Boop and stuff like that. It's been to see a game, or like anything in general, like pay such like a beautiful like homage to like a certain thing. I don't even know if that makes any sense, but you know what I mean?
I know what you're saying.
Like,
it's so singularly focused on that,
and it does it so well.
Absolutely nails it.
So,
looking over here, we have Towerfall Ascension. So, anyone that hasn't played that game, it is easily one of the best couch multiplayer games. Your little sprites. It's like an 8-bit style game. Everyone has a bow and arrow, and it's just like deathmatch, pretty much.
Yeah.
So it's like, you can. The reason that this game is better than most games like this, because there certainly are a lot of games like this, is the different things that can happen. So like you can dodge, you can jump, you can wall jump. So like if an arrow is coming at you, you dodge into it, you catch the arrow, and now you have one more piece of ammo.
Yeah.
Because the arrows are limited. We've had so much fun playing this game.
Yeah, good times.
It's just a fantastic game. In the same vein, we have Overcooked.
Yeah, a few games on here very much in the same.
Yeah,
Overcooked, super fun.
Really, really fun game. If you guys haven't played it, it's basically.
I'm not very good at it.
Cut the tomatoes, Scott. Where's the tomatoes?
I threw them out.
It's a cooking game where you get orders up top, and you need to fulfill the order. So it's kind of like a chaos, like plate spinning game where it's like, all right, you're gonna be on bun duty. I'm gonna cook the burger meat, and then it's like
someone's gotta chop the tomatoes and lettuce.
Someone's gotta chop them, and so you're like,
you gotta wash the dishes.
Yeah, and everyone's yelling at each other. It's just such a fun.
We gotta make onion soup. Oh no, but the rats are stealing the onions that you chop up. So you gotta play.
If you have somebody that's really not pulling their weight too, it's me, it's gonna be a lot harder to succeed.
But it really is just so much fun to be like, what's going on? Like, what am I doing?
I'm freaking out within the first 5 seconds. Nothing happened yet.
I never knew what we got pretty far one time, and it started where like it was like the room started moving, so you could only go like certain like areas to like get to where you need to like get you. So we were like we could like plan like, okay, well at this time like you got to go here and you got to, and like it is really fun because it is sort of like you got to like it's kind of like a puzzle game in a way where you're like, okay, I got to
very much like a puzzle game.
Get through here there first, and
it's a fantastic multiplayer game.
It's really cerebral, you know.
Yeah,
it is.
You gotta.
It really is.
You have to work
maintain
with
that
everybody,
focus.
And
it's a good team building exercise.
Yes.
Or a relationship killer, depending on how you look at it.
Could be a relationship killer.
I know I haven't been over here for a
while. We have Nidhogg here. Nidhogg is just a 1v1 duel where if you kill the guy on one side, you start running to the side of the screen, and it's basically a tug of war.
Right, you want to get to the end.
Yeah, you want to get all the way to one side, and it's like a dueling game where you can like raise or lower the height of your sword, or you can just throw your sword. Like it's just an excellent game. Nidhogg 2 is also really, really good. We don't need to harp too much on it. All the EA Sports games, FIFA, Madden, NHL, NBA, like,
MLB The Show.
MLB The Show is an excellent game. These, we're just kind of clumping them all together, but
They're fun.
I do really enjoy some of those games. I spent a lot of time as a kid playing, doing fantasy drafts in Madden, with a bunch of buddies and just, all being in the same division, who makes playoffs, like playing our games, having a lot of fun with that kind of stuff. But again, y'all know what they are. We need to harp too much on it. A Way Out just came out earlier this year.
I'm sure we talked about that.
We talked quite a bit about it, but I just wanted to add it to this list because it is, it can't be played unless you're on this.
You need co-op.
You need co-op, and I think it's a really, really good experience overall, even with the nonsense it pulls.
The Tommy Wiseau stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Borderlands and Borderlands 2 I want to talk about because these are really, really good co-op games.
Mm-hmm.
I had a lot of fun playing with cousins and friends and stuff because everyone gets to build their own character and level up independently and choose their different weapons, and it's obviously you guys know it's a first-person shooter, but it's an RPG like Diablo-like almost with all the gear, and you have skill trees, so it's just cool to have that kind of agency and be able to play.
Yeah, first Borderlands specifically,
friends.
I really enjoyed it.
Me too.
I thought that was
me as well. I really, really like that game.
A lot of fun. There's all the quirky characters that you come across.
Yeah. I mean, some of the story stuff gets a little cringy at times in that game, but overall, I think it's a really good co-op experience. Talk about Super Mario 3D World.
Yes.
Really great.
There's a few of the Marios though for the Wii.
Yeah, a couple Mario games here.
Wii Mario,
New Super
Wii
Mario
U,
Bros.
Yeah, those games really.
Yeah. It's just so much fun to be able to play these kind of games with other people. It's almost like it's a totally different game because you're kind of like jumping on each other's heads sometimes.
Yeah, was I playing?
Did
we play together, Scott? Where I remember I was like running, and I think you just like picked me up, and then you just ran with me like the rest of the level. I think, is that you?
I could have been it.
Probably. But yeah, it's an excellent game that you can also play in co-op. Speaking of that exact thing, Portal 2 has entire co-op missions. It's almost like a separate game than the single player mode, where it's just like very Portal 1 style rather than Portal 2, but you're doing it with two people, so you have to work together. It's actually really, really good. Jackbox Party Packs. We have a lot of experience with these games. There are a few games that are as good currently as those games because you can play with 8 players, and 10 players,
everybody
has a great time
because
they're just awesome. Between Fibbage, Quiplash, even some of the new stuff like Trivia Murder Party, You Don't Know Jack, like they're all excellent games. Such a genius thing that you can just use your phone and everyone can play on the screen. I know we played last time we were at Dan's house. Everyone's having fun.
Yeah. Those
games are the perfect party game thing.
Oh yeah, everybody. Yeah. Definitely for sure.
Once again, a game anybody can play. I mean,
anyone can play, and everyone will enjoy it.
As long as you know the same language.
Yeah, exactly.
You can play.
Rocket League, I have on here. I mostly play online with friends, but you can even play co-op at home online if you want to. But just a really, really good, team-based game.
Rocket League's one of those games I wish I was super good at because you see the actual pros play Rocket League, and they're just insanely good.
It doesn't make any sense.
It's just pretty good, and it's in. It's crazy.
I can rides up the wall and jumps up, and
I can play at a pretty competitive level, but obviously not at a pro level. But it's fun. I can play pretty well online, and it's fun when you get good enough where you can get good aerials and actually hit it and cross
and
it
you spin
and jump
the car
up.
and tail whip it.
So awesome. Yeah. I mean, Rocket League's a fantastic game. Spelunky I have on here because you can play the entire game co-op with 4 players if you want. There's also a battle mode very much like Bomberman style, last man standing kind of thing. Really fun. Speaking of, we didn't put any Bomberman games on.
Bomberman, yeah.
But they're a lot of fun co-op, some of the older ones. Spelunky, I prefer it as a single player game, but it's a lot of fun to play. It's again like Mario, where it's it almost becomes goofy at a certain point because it's you're not really going to accomplish anything. You're just
gotta save those damsels,
doing silly stuff. Then the last one I have on this list is Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes. So this game, very unique game. I absolutely adore it. Any chance I have to play with anybody, I'm like, please play, because you really need cooperation. But what happens is one person, and you can do this in VR or you can do it just regularly. One person is looking at a bomb on screen, and it's a totally unique bomb with all these different like images and symbols and different like keys and stuff. And the other person or people are looking at a rules guide, and it's like a bomb defusal manual. And the person that's looking at the bomb is like, I see something that looks like hieroglyphics. And then they're like, all right, let me turn and find that. Oh, here it is. And then you're reading the rules about how to defuse this specific thing. And so the person looking at the bomb has no idea what you're looking at, but you have to communicate to them how to solve it.
Right. So it's like a bird thing.
Yeah, it's like a game of telephone almost, where it becomes like there are specific things on the bombs that are very much geared towards that telephone idea, where it's like, all right, the first, it says C. And is it like, and then you're like, is it the letter C or the word C? And I'm like, the word C. And then it's like S-E-E or S-E-A. You know what I mean? Like, it's very like making you really know how to communicate properly.
Yeah, it's cool.
And it's so much fun to play. I absolutely adore that game. It's such a good
we played together, right?
I think the three of us played it,
Yeah.
It's a unique thing, right? It's like a really, really fun experience.
I remember having the headset on and screaming.
Yep. That'll do it. All right, that's what we have listed here, guys, but I'm sure there's many more.
A lot more that we missed. You came up with these right off the cuff.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun doing this, just kind of reminiscing about what we do on the couch.
3 bros sitting on the couch, doing things on the couch together.
Just me and my bros.
Just me and my bros doing things on the couch.
That sounds a little sexual then.
I didn't say anything.
All right, thank you guys for joining us. Scott, thank you for being on here. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Scott.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Shelby, as always.
Shelby, thank you, buddy.
And thank you guys for watching.
Yes, next time, come join us on the couch next time.
Yeah, maybe you could be the next one on the couch.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys. Till next week. Peace. What's up, guys? It's Dan from Circle Back. I'm just here to let you know you can find everything that we do at circlebackgaming.com. If you just want the podcast, we're on iTunes. If you just want the video, we're on YouTube. So catch us either place.